It'll get out of the way. However, that's a 180, so the rest of the part's coming back around, so I may want to put in a larger value. I'm going to put in 500.
Okay. Good.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking millimeters again.
500 inches.
Okay, how about I put in 4,812, which is not quite 500 millimeters, but that still gets out of the way.
Okay.
So what have I got here? I got a loading position, a start position, and 4 bends on R2, a pullback of 12. I hit next. You're using a manual or anything optional you'd want to go in here. Otherwise, you answer no. Next. Now that's where we're going to put the file. I'm just going to stick it.
Put it folder 4.
Yeah.
We have all of it.
Okay. I'm going to save that there.
Okay.
Alright. Now, at this point, I could run this part. Because I feel confident in my interference points.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not confident is my rotations.
Right.
And if I wanted to scrap a part to see if I got the rotations in the right direction, I could go ahead and scrap one part. Or I could export it to the sim software and look at it in the sim.
Let's do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you want a USB?
Yeah, I need a USB since we're not connecting it. So when we export it to the sim, you'll get nothing.
Oh, see.
That's why.
If you're off.
That's why I had to manually input it into the sim.
Oh.
However, if we input it into here and we got the $sign files, which puts everything into
That's why we were
except for the last straight and total length, this will give me the last straight and total length.
You see, that's why we end up going the docs, the supervision way.
Oh, okay.
Because the supervision will export the XYZs.
So what I had to do is after I did this, I brought up a second monitor, changed these values to millimeter, and then I went to this screen and just went to the bending and entered the LRA and just keyed in directly off the screen. 2235, first bend of 120. Then a feed of 182.63 and a rotation of 0, second bend of 60, feed of 323.65, rotation of 79, and notice I did get that direction wrong because I made it a negative 79 over here.
Oh. So to take advantage of the simulation, the only way you can do it is by entering it into the simulation as millimeters, or but this won't export supervision?
No, well this would not export XYZ. This will not convert LRA to XYZ.
Okay.
Because the bender only uses XYZ to make LRA.
Okay.
So if I enter a part in the bender in LRA, there's no XYZ data.
You can't do
what am I doing? It must be Friday. Okay.
That's a hard habit to break.
And the simulation will only input XYZ.
Right.
It doesn't care about the LRA because it's going to use the XYZ and the tool sets you've picked to create the LRA.
Okay, so what I said was right. If you're going to program offline, the only way you can take advantage of the simulation part of it is to start with the simulation software.
Yeah, or program using XYZ coordinates.
But then you have to key punch it from one screen to the other.
No.
Oh,
if
you said this wouldn't export XYZ.
This won't export, this won't create XYZ.
Oh, okay.
But it will export it.
Okay.
So if I create a program in the offline using XYZ, I can export that directly to SIM.
Okay.
Can you get XYZs on your...
Well, see, now there's something interesting. One of the things...
288385-00. So I don't get mixed up with the other one I got in there.
Right.
Alright. So now we got it in a place where I can get to it over here.
Okay.
Alright. So, others, data management, CSV input output. Because this exported it as a CSV file.
Sure.
An Excel format file.
Okay.
I'm going to go to output. I'm gonna tell it I want to look. Oh, not input. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I want to go to that backup directory. Test.
Any one of those
That one.
Text needs to be a little
And
bigger.
I'll save it in folder 4 where the rest of our files are. Input. From there to folder 4. Execute. Alright, so now I can go here. Go to folder 4. We have that file. Designate. A
Okay.
few things we're going to have to do to it since we brought it over here.
Yep.
Because this is a raw simulation file. It doesn't have the tool dimensions.
Oh, okay.
And a couple other things it may not have. We'll just go through here real quick.
Can you bring in a template without overwriting the existing information?
Actually, it does have some tool dimensions.
Oh.
It does have, but they don't match
Right, it doesn't. Yeah.
these tools because they match the dimensions of my tool set. Let's see, which is
But your tool set
See?
could match those two.
the bend. They got interference point in 1905 from the radius in 1905. Got the pressure die length of 67 from the pressure die, or the interference from the length of 67.
Okay. Does that handle it in the same same way where you have a template that, or are you gonna have to key in that information each time you do a simulation?
Now, I'll be honest, this is going to change, and if you got simulation software, this may be corrected, and this is why I covered this with them in November, and the next version is supposed to have this. They're putting those values in the work spec interference points, and I've told them that I would prefer, and they need to put those values instead into the jig specification max value columns.
Oh, okay.
That way, it'll calculate these interference points based on those lengths, plus the excess space margin, plus the chuck dimensions.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
All right.
When do you expect that to be implemented?
In your software.
Oh,
It
okay.
may already be implemented, because
Okay.
this is back in November, but I have yet to upgrade this version.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so it's imported.
It's imported. I just want to make sure I got the radius values in the right place.
We'll just put the same.
This is a mistake I made in setting up the tools in the simulation. I should have set up a double stack, but if I set up a single stack of tools, the simulation will assign that as R1.
Oh,
But on the vendor, it's actually R2 because R1 is the stack we're not using.
okay.
And that was just the way I set up the tools. In
Okay.
fact, that was more my mistake. Okay, so we got bin radius, we got number of bins 4, pipe supply position, that's just our loading point. Since that has nothing to do with the shape of the part, except for the length of the part, that's an arbitrary value. So I'm gonna put in 150. Alright, die change, we're only running on one radius, so we're gonna put that to no. Anything else? Pipe supporter 200, we can leave that where it is. These values, we can set these real quick.
Did I just turn it off?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I bumped into this. I saw
Okay.
the button on the side.
Pressure die, let's highlight, escape, present position copy. Alright, highlight, escape. What I did is I just simply told it, take the position I'm in and copy it into that point.
Okay.
You do something similar
Right.
on your control with the copy set function. Alright, setting that up to where it's lined right up the back of the bin die. Highlight, escape.
But isn't that the information that would be in a template file?
Yes, it is.
So
But from
can
the
you
sim-
combine the two?
No, because from the simulation, I have to import it as a brand new file. So that's why we'd like to try to work out the roamer deal, because the roamer allows us to import into a template. And that
Okay.
would mean even though I have to do some editing on the program with the roamer,